All right, so we're continuing the Elias Macco show. I'm still trying to recover from having worn the Apple Vision Pro and this HTC XR Elite. Thank you, Alvin, by the way. We got to move things along and talk politics. David Heurtel, the one and only, is on the line, counsel at Fasken, and, of course, a former Quebec Liberal cabinet minister. Hi, David.
Hey, Elias.
Hello.
Are you there?
Yes, I do hear you. I do hear you.
Okay.
Sorry.
Okay. Good morning.
How you doing, David? What did you want to start with?
Well, we could start with Denis Coderre if you want to.
Yeah, let's talk about the ABC, anybody but Coderre movement within the Liberal Party. What do you have to say about that?
Well, so it's interesting what's coming out indirectly or somewhat in a covered way from the Liberals right now. What's going on is that there was a plan among certain insiders and establishment types within the party and the philosophy was, well, 2026 is kind of a throwaway election, and we will be really back and contending to form government in 2030. And that's kind of the game plan for Mauro Risky and Antoine Dion-Charest. And nobody expected really Denis Coderre to come back. And he's a total outsider in this race. You know, he's not from the Liberal Party of Quebec. He didn't grow up politically in that part of the political spectrum. He's a federal liberal. And so him coming in, it kind of disturbs a lot of people's plans, I think. He doesn't have the types of relationships, with the caucus, with the remaining party faithful. And he's kind of blowing up a lot of people's plans here. And so you're seeing some members of that, again, older Charest-leaning establishment scrambling, trying to find somebody that could step up because we're seeing the same names all the time, François-Philippe Champagne and Joel Lightbound and Sophie Brochu, who are basically in the case of François-Philippe Champagne. It would be a great choice, and a lot of people are hoping for him. But he's indicated that he's going to run federally again. So if there's a federal election in the spring of 25 or the fall of 25, you're kind of shot there if you're hoping for him.
Can you explain that? Because I'm telling you, whenever I read that and whenever I hear someone say François-Philippe Champagne, leader for the Quebec Liberal Party, all I can think about, I think like this is the provincial version of Ignatieff or Dion running the federal Liberals. Like maybe it kind of sounds like it would work on paper, but in reality, what are you thinking?
Well, I kind of agree with you, but the Ignatieff-Dion comparison, I think, fits more with like a Mark Carney federally, the type. But Champagne, you're right. It's kind of the idea of, okay, what do we need? Oh, we need a francophone from the regions that can talk about the economy. That's and so Champagne can do this.
Yeah.
And Sophie Brochu, hey, she could do this. And on top of that, she's a woman. Carl Blackburn, the president of the Conseil du Patronat du Québec, former Liberal politician, M&A, from a big family in Lac-Saint-Jean, big political family. His dad was a cabinet minister as well. So he checks off all these boxes. So they're going at it from that type of mentality. But again, I got to tell you, it seems that again there's this establishment game plan from the Charest part of the Liberal Party, what's left of the Charest faithful. And the Charest people that are in the party, that are controlling what's left of this party, that are trying to keep things under wraps until Mauro Risky and or Antoine Dion-Charest will be ready to lead.
So this is to me so interesting, right? Because it seems like, how you mentioned that Denis Coderre is ruining everyone's plans. It's hilarious that the plans basically were, well, we're still going to let's suck for another 5 years,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
What kind of
Yeah.
planning is that? Who wants a leader that banks on that, right?
Absolutely. But again, the idea was nobody thought that François Legault would drop and sink the way he has in the past 6 months. Nobody thought that Paul Saint-Pierre Plamondon, the Parti Québécois, would rise again. And nobody thought that Denis Coderre, a two-time loser in Montreal, the last two elections he tried, would not only, one, consider running, but also he is the only name, seriously, that actually increases
The
support
vote.
for the Liberals.
Yeah, that's right.
The last Léger took the Liberals from 15% to 21% with Coderre at the helm. So they are in shock. But I at the same time, while Coderre has a lot of baggage and a lot of issues, and by no means is it a done deal, the fact is that he is bringing the type of energy we haven't seen within the Liberal Party of Quebec since Philippe Couillard taking over back in 2013.
Couldn't agree with you more on that energy assessment. David, let me ask you about the asylum seeker and immigration question. Legault and 4 ministers with a very, interesting, to say the very least, display yesterday. We need the $1 billion. This is humanitarian crisis. David, on our listeners here at CJD, they don't agree with the CAQ on much, but they seem to be in agreement with how François Legault and his ministers are talking about this subject. What say you?
I say I have to agree. You know why, Elias? In 2018, I organized the exact same press conference.
Oh, really?
Yes. When this is from my point of view, is that I would say François Legault and his government is copying me because in 2018, you can look it up. I organized a big press conference in Montreal when I was immigration minister with my colleagues at Education, Health, Intergovernmental Affairs. They were all there. And we said this is putting the mismanagement and the incompetence of the Trudeau government on the question of asylum seekers is putting and has been putting way too much pressure on provincial governments, foremost the Quebec government, because we get the lion's share. François Legault is screaming because he's getting 50% of all asylum seekers in Canada. In 2017, 2018, we were getting 90%.
Wow.
Now the numbers are much bigger today. We're dealing with about 20 to 30,000 asylum seekers a year. He's now at 60,000 plus a year. But the fact is that it's because of, again, the mismanagement, the incompetence, and the inertia of the Trudeau government in the management of asylum seekers and their claims is putting unbearable pressure on jurisdictional sectors that are for the provinces, that the provinces manage: healthcare, justice, daycare, education. These are all provincial matters. So we're stuck with this, and so I have to agree. Now where I will disagree, and I've always disagreed with the Legault government, is when you have a guy like Roberge jumping on and saying that this is a threat to the French language. That I'm going to debate, and I disagree, and I cannot accept the way this government is scapegoating asylum seekers and immigrants to try to blame them on, for example, anything having to do with the perceived threats in the nation.
And it doesn't it doesn't jive with their regular immigration plans, where they want people from Latin America because they feel it's actually a natural fit to go from Spanish to French, right? So that doesn't line up.
It doesn't line up, and also the thing is that. We have to distinguish between asylum seekers and temporary foreign workers. Yes. And those are two different areas of the whole immigration debate. But see, the thing is that if you force temporary foreign workers, when you talk about Latin America, for example, nobody's going to be picking strawberries and blueberries this summer in Quebec. And and that's just one example. And so the reason why we have temporary foreign workers is because our businesses and our economy needs it. But on the asylum seeker front, Elias, I mean, we're talking about 60,000 people a year. Some of them go elsewhere in Canada, but a lot of them stay. But originally, and I'll leave you on this point, originally, when the whole system was set up by the federal government, it was supposed to take 60 days to decide on the validity of an asylum seeker's claim. Now it takes 5 years.
Yeah. What a difference. 5 years. What are we talking about? David, we got to leave it there. We'll catch you on Montreal Now on Friday and on this program Monday morning. Thanks so much.
All right. Take care.